Welcome to the Be Happy Now show. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. I'm Claudia-Sam. If you know that you're here for a bigger reason, this is the place to be. Together, we ditch the self-care guilt and quit the go with less fear and more trust. Tune in to living life in alignment with your full potential. The Be Happy Now show starts now.
Of the Be Happy Now show. I'm Lisa, Claudia-Sam's content producer. Today we are revisiting an episode that originally aired on January 5th, 2023. In this episode, Claudia-Sam explores tuning into your inner wisdom and distinguishing between what A Course in Miracles calls real and unreal thoughts. She discusses how to connect with your intuition, let go of judgment, and cultivate willingness as a foundation for personal growth. Whether you're feeling stuck or simply want to deepen your self-awareness, this episode offers valuable insights to help you align with your true self. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this powerful snippet.
One thing I want to say is that just like you would learn to cook without cutting your finger, or just like you would learn to ride a bike, there are times when you need support, when you need the little wheels at the back of the bike, when you need to use a knife that will be a little less effective, if you will, so that you can just cut your vegetables and get to making your soup or whatever you're making in a way that you're slowly making your way to being comfortable, to chopping those vegetables faster, to knowing what ingredients to put without looking at a recipe, for example. There are steps to take, and it's like a muscle that we flex. And in the Be Happy Now show, I do say that a lot. We're here to flex our soul connection muscle. Flexing our soul connection muscle. It's a muscle, the soul connection one, the tuning into the intuition, the hearing of the voice. That's a muscle that we flex. According to A Course in Miracles, there are real and unreal thoughts that we have in the mind. A Course in Miracles says, thoughts can either lead me to a false or to a real world. Thoughts are not neutral. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors, I will explain, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. The world I see show me if my thoughts are true or false, because my thoughts cannot be both. Up until this moment, the way that I'm going to speak for myself, and perhaps you can tune into your life and tune into yourself as I speak this out loud. Up until this moment, the way I've been seeing the world is that whatever I look at, let's say right now I'm looking in front of me and I see a wall, I see a plant, I see a table, I see a crystal, I see a computer screen, I see a photo. Those are labels, those are identities, those are things that we say these objects are based on past knowledge. We know that we quote unquote know that these things are what they are based on what someone else or what someone said they were. There's also the thoughts that can be in the mind of the judging of that. For example, I could look at the wall and say, oh yeah, I really wanted to paint that wall and it's white now. There's not a collage or anything on it. I really wish that it was a different color, for example. Or I look at my computer screen, I'm like, oh, there's a little dust on there. I should really clean it out. The thought of the thing becomes something more that is kind of veiled by a judgment, veiled by an opinion. And that is what A Course in Miracles says is an unreal thought, because it is based on past evidence of how the past was. Perhaps someone in my life had said that it was better to have things clean without dust on it, that it would be better decor to have like a decal or a different color on that wall instead of having 3 walls that are white. Whatever these are, the past, the evidence that my inner self has created, the evidence of the past that has accumulated in my mind, in my DNA, in the way I operate through the world, kind of puts a veil on what I see and the way I label things. And that's what A Course in Miracles says are unreal thoughts, because they are judgment. They have judgment, and they have labels, and they have a specific way of seeing that are actually not from the mind of love. When we are, so as I'm studying A Course in Miracles, I'm learning a lot about, for example, when they say, as the world I see arises from my thinking errors, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. In terms of errors, I used to have so much judgment on even that word. And now what I'm noticing is I get to choose if I want to be in judgment of the wall and of the dust on my computer screen, or if I want to not have any judgment. I get to decide, is that an error, quote unquote, that gets to be, quote unquote, corrected, because I can choose to see the computer screen and see the dust and be okay with it, not judge it, not have it make me feel anxious because I need to clean it up, or not make me feel less good or less successful or not good enough because my wall is not painted a specific color. So the term error that they're referring to is anything that would separate us from God, from the universe, from positive energy source. Anything that would separate us from the heart, from the true knowing of what is. Anything that would separate us from peace of mind, from inner clarity, from inner knowing of who we really are, which is energy, that soul, that loving nature. And so the real thoughts that A Course in Miracles is referring to is anything that has us be in full connection with the universe, with the mind of God, with love, with our nature as a soul, the nature as this light that is flowing through this human body. Now, this might be esoteric, and this might feel like, what is she saying? I don't understand. Let that be okay. This is also meant to be just heard by one layer of you, that soul layer of you that knows that you had to listen to this show today. You don't need to know more. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to understand. What I'm getting at is that there are different layers of who you are that get to speak to you. So if you're thinking, I need to figure this out, I need to have a plan for this year, I need to listen to my heart and my intuition, but I'm not hearing anything, there's a totally different energy than going, I trust that I will hear what I need to hear. There is the unreal type of how energy to the seeking of the clarity, the need for clarity, the seeking for that controlling essence that the human has lived with for so long. So it's okay to give yourself a break. It's okay to go, well, I don't understand. I don't hear anything. That's okay. That's okay. Because the fact that you're recognizing that you're not hearing anything from your intuition, that somehow the voice of your heart feels clogged up, just notice that that is part of the awareness process. Just the fact that you're aware that some things I'm not hearing it, just the fact that you're aware of that is huge, because it shows that you're actually there. You are at the front of the door and it's squeaking open. Maybe it's a little like jammed in there and you want to knock it open. And that's the energy of the new year of like, I'm going to knock this door down. I'm going to go right to my goal. But I'm not hearing anything. There needs to be a little oil there along the door so that it can open smoothly, so that you can walk through the door, walk towards your goals with this energy of the thought of the real thoughts that are in you, the trust that is there. And by real thoughts, I mean those thoughts of trust, those thoughts that come from your soul self. And in my tune in method, that's what I help my clients to tune into, to tap into the voice of the heart. And first, we get to kind of brush the hair of the ego and open the windows of the mind and let the wind fly in and have the mind feel like, hey, you're safe. It's okay if you're not in control. It's okay if you're trying to figure things out. The mind wants to hold on to something that's clear. The mind wants a plan. Excuse me. I'm going to drink water. Actually, that is lemon water with a bit of ginger. The mind wants to hold on to certainty. And so if you're finding yourself in this position of, I need to know, I need to know, I need to hear, and that is very present for you, there's actually a Be Happy Now show episode that might be super helpful for you. It's called Letting Go of the air quotes, but how? Okay, letting go of the but how, part 1. And that was me sharing my personal journey towards releasing the need to know it all and the need to control so that you can too surrender to what life wants for you. In other words, accessing those real thoughts, getting rid of the unreal thoughts that are the how, because that's being stuck in the head, that's being disconnected from the soul self. So letting go of the but how, part 1, that is November 25th, 2021. So it's one of the first episodes of the Be Happy Now show. I think it's actually episode number 4. So you can scroll way down wherever you're listening or watching to this show, and you can tune into it again. One of the things I want to leave you with here is a question that, again, it's okay if you don't hear the answer to. Let it simmer a little bit, like you're making this soup and you're turning the heat just like at a low simmer. So there's not big bubbles, it's not burning, it's not sticking at the bottom of the pan, but you're letting this question simmer in your energy so that the questions, or the answers rather, can come whenever they will come. They might come when you're walking into the grocery store and you're meeting someone who says something that you overhear, and then boom, you have the clarity. It might also come while you're in the shower. It might come through a dream. There are many ways that those real thoughts can come through, that the intuition can speak, that the soul can be open, and that your heart can finally feel free to speak up. So please don't worry if you're not receiving the answer right away. Close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so. Inhale through the nose, inflate the belly, the lungs, expand the chest. Exhale out through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose, inflate the belly and lower back, middle back, chest and upper back. Maybe roll the shoulders up and down to exhale out through the mouth. One more to really make space in the body, create expansion, and be right here, right now. Normal breath in and out through the nose. Are you willing to hear those loving thoughts? Are you willing to hear those loving, real thoughts? Are you willing to listen when your heart speaks? Are you willing to listen when your heart speaks? Take a deep breath and out, and open your eyes. Willingness is the foundation of confidence. Willingness is the foundation of tuning in to this true vision of the connection that we have with our soul self, with God, with the universe, with positive energy source. Willingness to receive the answers. Willingness to move past the unreal thoughts of fear, of lack, of not enoughness, of unknown. The willingness to be curious with the experience of all of it, the experience of, wow, this is me full on judging myself, or full on judging my experience of life, or full on judging where I'm at, like it's not fast enough. I'm not getting the answers fast enough. The willingness to move beyond this judgment and to receive clarity from the heart also means to be willing to love yourself. It also means for you to be willing to love yourself, capital S, self.
You've been listening to the Be Happy Now show with me, Claudia-Sam. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. You are worthy of being you and of connecting to what stops you from living the life you are meant to live. Access more soul connection coaching at ClaudiaSamCoaching.com.